In the heart of central Turkey's Cappadocia region lies a secret buried deep beneath the earth. A secret that has baffled historians and ignited the imaginations of conspiracy theorists worldwide. The subterranean city of Derinkuyu is a marvel of ancient engineering, a sprawling underground metropolis that plunges over 280 feet into the ground. How did ancient people construct such an extensive network of tunnels and chambers without modern technology? What mysteries lurk in the shadows of this underground labyrinth? The tale of Derinkuyu's discovery is as intriguing as the city itself. In 1963, a local man in the town of Derinkuyu decided to renovate his house. As he knocked down a wall in his basement, he stumbled upon a hidden room. This room led to another and another, unveiling a complex network that extended far beyond his property. Little did he know that his simple home improvement project would unearth a city capable of sheltering an estimated 20,000 people. Explorations revealed a sophisticated structure spanning 18 levels underground. Each level served a specific purpose. There were living quarters, kitchens equipped with stone ovens, wineries, chapels adorned with religious symbols, and even schools where children could learn. Stables housed livestock, and communal areas allowed for social gatherings. Massive circular stone doors, some weighing up to 1,000 pounds, could seal off each level, providing security against intruders. Ventilation shafts, some extending all the way to the surface, ensured a steady supply of fresh air, while wells provided clean water. The city's design reflects an advanced understanding of architecture and urban planning. To unearth history is to peel back the layers of time, remarked an archaeologist involved in the excavation. The more we learn about Derinkuyu, the more questions arise. Who were the people that built this underground city, and what drove them to live beneath the earth? Some historians believe that the Phrygians, an ancient Indo-European people, began the construction around the 8th century BCE. Others argue that the Hittites, or perhaps even earlier civilizations, laid the foundations. One prevalent theory is that Derinkuyu was expanded during the Byzantine era, serving as a refuge for Christian communities fleeing persecution from invading forces such as the Arabs during the 7th century Arab-Byzantine Wars, which were from 780 CE to 1180 CE. The underground city provided a secure haven where entire populations could live undetected for months at a time. The intricate network of passages and rooms allowed for a self-sustaining environment, complete with food storage facilities and clandestine escape routes. The very existence of Derinkuyu challenges our perceptions of ancient societies. How could people without modern tools carve out such an extensive underground network in relatively soft volcanic rock? The answer lies in the region's geology. The tough rock formations are malleable yet durable once exposed to air, making them ideal for carving. Over generations, the inhabitants expanded the city, adding new chambers and passageways as needed. However, not everyone is satisfied with conventional explanations. Some suggest that Derinkuyu is evidence of lost advanced civilizations or even extraterrestrial intervention. The precise engineering, the scale of the city, and the mysterious origins fuel speculation. Could it be that the underground city was built to survive a cataclysmic event, such as a flood or nuclear disaster? This ties into fringe theories about ancient civilizations possessing technology far beyond what mainstream history acknowledges. A popular conspiracy theory links Derinkuyu to the ancient Anunnaki, deities from Mesopotamian mythology who some believe were alien beings that influenced early human civilizations. Proponents of this theory argue that the underground city was constructed under their guidance to protect humanity from disasters or as part of a mining operation for precious metals. While there is no archaeological evidence to support these claims, they add an element of intrigue to the already fascinating story of Derinkuyu. To put the scale of Derinkuyu into perspective, consider that it rivals modern subterranean structures like the London Underground or New York City's subway system, not in technological complexity, but in scope and purpose. Yet, while today's underground networks are built with advanced machinery and engineering knowledge, Derinkuyu was carved by hand, illuminated by oil lamps, and planned with remarkable foresight. Nearby, the Cappadocia region offers additional wonders. The underground city of Kaimakli, just a few miles away, is connected to Derinkuyu by a tunnel system stretching over 5 miles. Kaimakli is equally impressive, with its own maze of rooms and passages. Together, these underground cities suggest a vast network of subterranean communities that cooperated and communicated with each other. The region is also famous for its fairy chimneys, towering rock formations that have been hollowed out to create homes, monasteries, and hotels, further showcasing the ingenuity of the area's ancient inhabitants. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it, wrote philosopher George Santayana. Derinkuyu stands as a testament to human adaptability and the lengths to which people will go to ensure their survival. The city's defenses indicate a need for protection, possibly from frequent invasions or natural disasters. The ability to retreat underground would have provided a strategic advantage, allowing inhabitants to avoid conflict and preserve their way of life. Modern research suggests that Derinkuyu was not just a refuge, but also a thriving community during times of peace. The presence of religious spaces indicates the practice of faith was integral to daily life. The discovery of artifacts such as tools, pottery, and even graves provides insight into the culture and customs of its residents. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Derinkuyu, we must consider both the rational explanations and the more speculative theories. While it's tempting to attribute the city's construction to lost technologies or extraterrestrial influence, the evidence points to human ingenuity and the resourcefulness of ancient societies. The collaboration required to build and maintain such a city reflects a strong communal bond and shared purpose. The story of Derinkuyu is still unfolding. New discoveries continue to emerge as archaeologists explore the depths of the city. Advances in technology, such as ground-penetrating radar, may reveal even more about the extent of the underground networks in Cappadocia. Each new finding brings us closer to understanding the lives of those who carved out a world beneath the surface. In conclusion, the underground city of Derinkuyu invites us to question what we think we know about history. It stands as a monument to human resilience, creativity, and the relentless pursuit of safety and community. Whether viewed through the lens of history, archaeology, or even conspiracy, Derinkuyu captivates our imagination and reminds us that beneath the surface, both literally and figuratively, there is always more to discover. If you enjoyed our content today, then check out our video on megalithic H structures discovered in Bolivia.
In the heart of the Mediterranean, where sapphire waters meet rugged shores, lies an archipelago steeped in enigma. Malta, a land where time seems to stand still, yet whispers secrets of civilizations lost to the ages. For millennia, this island nation has guarded its mysteries, buried beneath layers of history and legend. But in the dawn of the 20th century, a discovery would shatter our understanding of Malta's prehistoric past, revealing a subterranean world of unimaginable complexity. 1902, the town of Paola. What began as a routine construction project would unearth a marvel hidden for over 5,000 years. A labyrinth carved from the very heart of the island, a gateway to a lost world. The Hal Saflieni Hypogeum, an underground necropolis, a temple of the dead, a masterpiece of engineering and artistry that predates the pyramids of Egypt, a place where the boundaries between the living and the departed blur.
Nestled in the heart of the Mediterranean, the Maltese Islands rise like timeless sentinels, guarding secrets that reach back into the depths of prehistory. This small nation, perched at the crossroads of ancient trade routes, is a tapestry woven with the threads of countless civilizations. Beneath its golden limestone cliffs and rolling fields dotted with wildflowers lies a hidden world, one that predates even the great pyramids of Giza and Stonehenge. In 1902, as Malta stood on the brink of modernity, an extraordinary discovery would forever alter our understanding of its ancient past. In the quiet town of Paola, construction workers were laboring to lay foundations for new housing, carving into the soft limestone bedrock. Their chisels and picks, tools of everyday toil, suddenly broke through into an unexpected void. The earth yawned open, revealing a labyrinthine complex that had slumbered in silence for millennia, the Hal Saflieni Hypogeum. This was no ordinary cavern or natural cave. The Hypogeum, from the Greek meaning underground chamber, is a subterranean masterpiece, an intricate complex of interconnecting halls, chambers and passages hewn entirely by human hands between 4000 and 2500 BCE. Descending 3 levels and over 10 meters below the surface, it stands as a monumental achievement of engineering and artistry. To grasp the enormity of this endeavor, consider that the ancient builders meticulously extracted more than 2,000 tons of limestone using only primitive tools fashioned from stone, bone and antler. Imagine the persistence and skill required to remove a mass equivalent to that of 200 African elephants, or about 1/5 the weight of the Eiffel Tower's iron structure, all without the wheel, without metal tools, without the written word. Leading the effort to uncover the secrets of this underground enigma was Dr. Themistocles Zammit, Malta's first director of museums and a pioneering archaeologist. Reflecting on the discovery, he remarked, "The Hypogeum is a monument surpassing all others in its uniqueness, and in the testimony it bears to the high civilization of the people who built it." His dedication ensured that the site was carefully excavated and preserved for future generations. As we venture deeper into the Hypogeum's dimly lit corridors, the air grows cool, and the echoes of our footsteps mingle with whispers of the past. The walls and ceilings are adorned with swirling patterns painted in red ochre, spirals, honeycombs, and intricate motifs that may symbolize the cycle of life, the cosmos, or pathways to realms beyond our own. The architecture mirrors that of the megalithic temples above ground, such as Hagar Kim and Menadra, suggesting a seamless connection between the earthly and the divine. Among the treasures unearthed within the depths of the Hypogeum is the enigmatic Sleeping Lady, a small terracotta figurine depicting a corpulent woman reclining peacefully on a couch. Her closed eyes and serene expression have captivated scholars and visitors alike. Is she a representation of a mother goddess, symbolizing fertility and rebirth? As archaeologist Setemi Zammit observed, she embodies the enigmatic spirituality of a people whose rituals and beliefs remain just beyond our grasp. The Hypogeum also served as a necropolis, a city of the dead, where the remains of over 7,000 individuals were carefully placed. The bones, often arranged with care, suggest complex funerary practices and a deep reverence for the afterlife. Some skulls found exhibited elongated shapes, sparking debates and fueling legends about ancient races with extraordinary attributes. One chamber, in particular, has ignited both scholarly interest and public imagination, the Oracle Chamber. This small niche possesses acoustic properties so unique that sounds made within it resonate throughout the entire complex. Modern acoustic engineers have studied the chamber and found that it amplifies frequencies around 110 Hz. At this frequency, sound waves can induce a meditative or altered state of consciousness in listeners, affecting brain activity in profound ways. Could it be that the builders intentionally designed the oracle chamber to harness the power of sound? Some researchers, like Dr. Linda Ineix of the Old Temple Study Foundation, suggest that the use of acoustic technology in the hypogeum indicates a sophisticated understanding of psychoacoustics, potentially used for rituals aimed at transcending the physical realm. This intersection of architecture, art, and acoustics hints at a culture deeply attuned to the forces of nature and the human psyche. The hypogeum may have been a place where initiates underwent sensory experiences intended to connect them with the spiritual world, blurring the boundaries between life and death, the tangible and the ethereal. Yet, the hypogeum's mysteries have also given rise to numerous legends and speculative theories. Tales persist of a lost race of giants who constructed the underground temple with knowledge and abilities beyond those of ordinary humans. Some stories even recount how early explorers vanished within its depths, never to be seen again. While these accounts are steeped in myth, they reflect the profound impact the hypogeum has on our collective imagination. As the echoes of these legends fade, we are reminded of the significant impact the hypogeum has had on both historical scholarship and modern science. Its discovery not only unveiled an architectural marvel, but also reshaped our understanding of prehistoric societies. Renowned archaeologist and Professor Colin Renfrew once stated, "The hypogeum challenges our perceptions of prehistoric societies, compelling us to acknowledge that these ancient people possessed a complexity of thought and culture that rivals our own." His words remind us that the achievements of the past continue to inform and inspire the present.
Another episode of the series is we look at the so-called underground cities of Turkey. This is quite a famous phenomenon in Turkey, that there are huge cities. They look like ant farms on an enormous scale that are dug out under the earth. Hundreds and hundreds of rooms.
The discovery of Derinkuyu, one of the most extraordinary archaeological finds in modern history, happened entirely by accident in 1963. In the small town of Derinkuyu, located in the Nevşehir province of central Turkey, a local resident decided to enlarge his basement as part of a routine home renovation project. During this seemingly ordinary task, he knocked down one of the basement walls and uncovered something truly unexpected. A mysterious room leading to a tunnel that seemed to stretch far beyond the confines of his property. This unexpected find instantly captured the homeowner's curiosity. The room he stumbled upon wasn't just any ordinary underground chamber, it was part of a vast and complex network of tunnels and rooms extending deep into the ground. Unlike anything he had seen before, this discovery hinted at a hidden world beneath the surface of Derinkuyu. Driven by a mix of astonishment and intrigue, the homeowner began to explore this newfound subterranean space. With each step, the extent of the underground network became more apparent, revealing an endless labyrinth of tunnels and rooms. The scale and complexity of the underground structure were staggering. Recognizing the significance of his discovery, the homeowner promptly notified local authorities. The authorities in turn enlisted the expertise of archaeologists, historians, and other specialists to investigate the site. This marked the beginning of a systematic exploration of Derinkuyu's underground city. As the experts delved deeper into the subterranean maze, they uncovered a sprawling underground city with a sophisticated layout that far exceeded initial expectations. It became clear that this was not merely a shelter or hideout, but a fully functional, self-sufficient city designed to house a large population. The city of Derinkuyu is an astounding example of ancient engineering prowess. Descending to a depth of approximately 85 meters, Derinkuyu stands as one of the deepest and most extensive subterranean cities discovered to date. The city's intricate layout spans multiple levels, each meticulously designed to serve specific functions, ensuring the survival and comfort of its inhabitants. The entire complex is estimated to cover an area large enough to accommodate around 20,000 people, including their livestock and food stores. This extensive underground network was constructed to provide a safe haven for large communities, especially during times of invasion and conflict. The various levels of the city are interconnected through a labyrinth of tunnels, staircases, and passageways, showcasing a sophisticated understanding of space utilization and structural integrity. Derinkuyi's design reflects a comprehensive approach to urban planning, with each level dedicated to different aspects of daily life, communal activities, and defense. The residential areas of Derinkuyu were designed to provide comfortable living spaces for families, including individual rooms and communal living areas. The living quarters in Derinkuyu can be compared to modern-day apartment complexes, where space is efficiently used to accommodate many residents in a confined area. Specific areas were allocated as stables for keeping livestock, an essential aspect of sustaining an underground community. These stables were crucial for maintaining a supply of fresh meat, milk, and other animal products, supporting the dietary needs of the inhabitants. Numerous storage rooms were discovered, designated for storing food supplies, tools, and other essential items. These storage facilities ensured that the community had access to necessary resources during prolonged periods of seclusion. Large communal kitchens were found within the city, equipped to prepare meals for a significant population. These kitchens included large ovens, storage for cooking supplies, and areas for food preparation. Facilities for producing and storing wine and oil were integrated into the city's infrastructure. These presses indicate that the inhabitants not only focused on survival, but also maintained elements of their cultural and social practices such as winemaking. Ingeniously designed wells and ventilation shafts were critical for providing fresh air and water throughout the city. The ventilation shafts were strategically placed to ensure a steady flow of fresh air, preventing the buildup of harmful gases and maintaining a breathable environment. Chapels and churches within Derinkuyu highlight the importance of religious practices and community worship. These spaces provided spiritual solace and a place for communal gatherings, reflecting the inhabitants' religious and cultural values. Massive stone doors, capable of sealing off sections of the city, were a key defensive feature. These doors could be rolled into place to block entry points, protecting inhabitants from invaders. The design allowed them to be operated from within, adding an extra layer of security. The design and functionality of Derinkuyu can be intriguingly compared to modern subterranean structures like the underground cities of Montreal and Helsinki. These contemporary urban centers have developed extensive underground networks to cope with extreme weather conditions and to optimize urban space. Similar to Derinkuyu, these modern cities feature interconnected tunnels, shopping areas, and residential spaces, showcasing how ancient and modern civilizations have both utilized underground construction to enhance urban living. Located just a few kilometers north of Derinkuyu, the underground city of Kaymakli is another fascinating example of ancient subterranean engineering in the Cappadocia region of central Turkey. Like Derinkuyu, Kaymakli is part of a network of underground cities that provided refuge for thousands of people during times of conflict and invasion. The proximity of Kaymakli to Derinkuyu suggests a potential connection between these underground cities, forming an extensive and interconnected system of human habitation beneath the surface of Cappadocia. The underground city of Kaymakli was first opened to the public in 1964, shortly after the discovery of Derinkuyu. Local residents had long known about the existence of underground passages and rooms beneath their homes, but systematic exploration and excavation efforts began only in the mid-20th century. As archaeologists began to uncover more of Kaymakli, they revealed a complex and multi-level subterranean city, similar in scope and design to Derinkuyu. Kaymakli is known for its extensive and elaborate underground architecture, spread across at least 8 levels. However, only 4 of these levels are currently accessible to the public. Each level served different purposes and included various types of rooms and facilities. The residential areas in Kaymakli, like those in Derinkuyu, were designed to accommodate families. These quarters were equipped with living rooms, sleeping areas, and communal spaces, providing a semblance of normal life for the inhabitants, despite being underground. Numerous storage rooms were used to keep food supplies, tools, and other essential items. These storage facilities ensured that the inhabitants had enough resources to survive long periods of seclusion. Large communal kitchens and dining areas were found within the city, equipped to prepare and serve meals for the population. These areas included large ovens, storage for cooking supplies, and spaces for communal dining. Ingenious ventilation shafts were constructed to provide fresh air throughout the city. These shafts ensured a continuous supply of breathable air, maintaining a healthy environment for the inhabitants. Kaimakli also contained chapels and religious spaces, highlighting the importance of spiritual practices. These spaces served as places for worship and communal gatherings, reflecting the cultural and religious values of the community. Massive stone doors and other defensive features were designed to protect the inhabitants from invaders. These mechanisms could seal off sections of the city, providing security during attacks. One of the most remarkable aspects of Kaimakli is the sophisticated engineering employed in its construction. The city's builders used natural volcanic rock formations, which are relatively soft and easy to carve, to create the extensive network of tunnels and rooms. Despite the softness of the rock, the structural integrity of the city has remained intact for centuries, a testament to the builders' advanced understanding of geology and engineering.
The Indus Valley civilization, nobody actually knew that it existed until it was accidentally discovered while a railway was built. Then they found that this culture had had a language, a fully developed written script. It's about 5,000 years old, but there isn't a single Rosetta Stone that enables us to translate that script into any more recent language. If you wish to pass information to a distant future, if you wish it to be preserved, you wouldn't be smart to just write it down.
Welcome to the mysterious and ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro, one of the largest settlements of the Indus Valley civilization and a marvel of prehistoric urban planning buried deep in today's Pakistan.
Since the discovery of the Indus Valley civilization, we have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old.
Now, let's unravel the secrets of this place, explore its sophisticated drainage systems, the iconic Great Bath, and decode what secrets might have existed in this magnificent city over 4,000 years ago.
I want to know what else is going to be found that hasn't been investigated yet at all. We're just touching the edge of a huge mystery.
Mohenjo-Daro, situated in the Sindh province of Pakistan, is a key archaeological site from the Indus Valley civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization. Its name, translating to Mound of the Dead in Sindhi, hints at the mysteries buried within this ancient city, offering a unique glimpse into one of the world's earliest urban societies. The site was discovered in 1922 during a broader archaeological survey of the Indian subcontinent conducted by the Archaeological Survey of India. Rakhaldas Bandyopadhyay, known as R.D. Banerjee, stumbled upon what he initially thought was a Buddhist stupa in the Larkana district. Further investigation revealed the ruins of an ancient city, predating any known Buddhist settlements, marked by sophisticated urban features like baked brick structures.
They found that there were these actually very, very sophisticated, very complex mud brick structures on a very large scale.
Major excavations kicked off in 1924 under Sir John Marshall, the then Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India, and his deputy, Ernest Mackay. Their efforts unveiled an advanced city with a well-planned layout, efficient drainage systems, brick houses, granaries, and public baths, all indicating a highly organized society. The excavation methods were quite methodical for the time, involving grid-based trench digging which allowed for a clearer understanding of the city's layout. Marshall also emphasized the use of photography and meticulous on-site notes to document the findings accurately. Among the most remarkable discoveries was the Great Bath, suggesting the site's use for ritualistic or ceremonial purposes, alongside a sophisticated sewage system that highlighted the city's advanced urban planning and sanitation awareness. Post-1947 partition of India, Mohenjo-Daro became part of Pakistan, and new excavation phases were led in the 1950s and 1960s by Pakistani archaeologist Dr. Ahmad Hassan Dani. His work helped uncover lower layers of the city and explore residential areas that had not been previously excavated.
There's a lost civilization which is now accepted by archaeology within relatively recent memory, and that's the Indus Valley civilization.
These later excavations focused more on understanding the daily lives of the inhabitants, with numerous artifacts such as pottery, tools, and ornaments providing insights into their daily activities, trade practices, and cultural aspects. As archaeological techniques evolved, later excavations at Mohenjo-Daro incorporated modern methods including stratigraphic analysis, which aided in more accurately dating the city's layers. There was also a significant emphasis on using refined conservation techniques to preserve delicate artifacts and building materials exposed during the digs. From the 1970s onwards, efforts predominantly shifted towards preserving the integrity of the site, as it faced threats from salinity, waterlogging, and deterioration of materials. In recognition of its value and the need for protection, Mohenjo-Daro was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1980, which helped attract international attention and funding aimed at preserving and protecting this ancient window into early urban life. Continuing from the intriguing discoveries and preservation efforts, the urban layout and architecture of Mohenjo-Daro are indeed remarkable, reflecting a level of sophistication and scale that's astounding for its time period, around 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. As a critical part of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, this city offers profound insights into the early techniques of urban planning and architecture that have stood the test of time. Mohenjo-Daro spanned at least 1.5 square kilometers, with some estimates suggesting it might have covered over 5 square kilometers at its peak, making it one of the largest cities of its time. The city was meticulously planned with a grid system, dividing it into a lower town and a citadel area. Streets running north-south and east-west sliced the city into well-organized blocks, demonstrating the urban planner's keen grasp of design principles. Residential blocks were designed with precision to ensure uniform appearance from the outside and direct access to street-side drainage, reflecting a controlled approach to urban development and adherence to municipal regulations.
Is knowledge preserved and passed down through the ages? Yes, I think it is.
The city's drainage system was extraordinarily advanced for its era. Each house was connected to a street-side drainage channel through individual drainage pits, a setup that showcases early mastery in sanitary engineering. These drains, constructed from baked brick and gypsum mortar, included manholes at intervals for maintenance, features that would not be out of place in a modern city. The buildings of Mohenjo-Daro were primarily built using sun-dried and fired mud brick. Baked bricks were particularly used for constructing bath and drainage structures to better withstand moisture. The architectural variety within the city was notable, with homes ranging from small single-room dwellings to large multi-storied buildings, indicating a society with socio-economic diversity. A typical house featured a courtyard surrounded by rooms, providing light and air to living spaces, with some houses boasting 2 or even 3 stories. The standardization in brick size, typically measuring 7 by 14 by 28 centimeters, suggests there was a centralized system for the production and distribution of building materials. Most materials for construction were likely sourced locally, given the abundance of clay in the Indus region, ideal for brickmaking. However, special items like the large stones used in some public buildings might have been sourced from further away and transported to the site. When we compare the urban planning and architectural sophistication of Mohenjo-Daro with that of ancient Egypt during the same period, a fascinating picture emerges. While the Egyptians focused more on monumental structures like pyramids, constructed from large stone blocks quarried from distant locations such as Tura and Aswan, the people of Mohenjo-Daro excelled in creating a functional urban landscape that prioritized civic amenities and residential comfort. Building on the sophisticated urban planning and architecture of Mohenjo-Daro, the archaeological site is also renowned for some extraordinary artifacts that shed light on the cultural and technological advancements of the Indus Valley civilization.
We're going to see more physical evidence for this, more as time goes by.
The dancing girl is a captivating bronze figurine, merely 10.5 centimeters tall, capturing a young girl in a dynamic pose with one hand on her hip and the other casually dangling at her side. The level of detail in the figurine is remarkable, showing off intricate jewelry and a detailed hairstyle that points to a highly sophisticated sense of aesthetics and craftsmanship. This small statue is not just a piece of art. It highlights the advanced metalworking skills of the time, being one of the few metal artifacts discovered at Mohenjo-Daro. Another significant find is the so-called priest-king statue, a small steatite sculpture standing about 17.5 centimeters high. It depicts a male figure seated, adorned in an intricately engraved robe and wearing a fillet around his head, which might have once held a feather or other decoration. The sculpture's serene expression and the precision of its beard trimming suggest meticulous grooming and possibly a high social or religious status. Some scholars believe this figure might symbolize an idealized form of leadership or divine authority, integrating both political and religious power, though it may not represent a specific individual. Perhaps the most architecturally impressive discovery at Mohenjo-Daro is the Great Bath. Located centrally on the Citadel Mound, this large pool measures roughly 12 meters by 7 meters and is about 2.4 meters deep. It's constructed from finely fitted bricks sealed with a layer of natural tar, making it waterproof, an advanced construction technique for the time. The Great Bath is believed to have been used for ritual purification rites, reflecting the civic and religious practices of the Indus people. The structure was ingeniously fed by a well, and an adjacent drain allowed for the emptying and cleaning of the bath, indicating a sophisticated management of water resources. Comparing the Great Bath with Roman baths brings interesting insights. Like Mohenjo-Daro's bath, Roman baths were central to social and religious life, going beyond mere hygiene to serve as gathering places for social interaction and ritual practices. However, Roman baths were typically more complex, featuring varied temperatures across different rooms and incorporating technologies like steam baths and underfloor heating, showing different scales and advancements in engineering. An intriguing theory related to Mohenjo-Daro's significance within the Indus Valley civilization is the hydraulic hypothesis, which suggests that the city served as a religious center coordinating the management of an extensive system of irrigation canals. This hypothesis proposes that the city's leadership wielded both political and religious authority, crucial for managing the water resources vital for agriculture in the arid environment.
Nobody builds something that big underground just for fun. You don't do that unless you have to.
Right.
You don't burrow like a human ant nest.
Yeah. Human beings are so weird in so many ways.
Yes.
The story of the Longyu Caves discovery begins quite unassumingly with Wu Anai, a local farmer in the small village of Xi'an in Zhejiang province, China. This region, picturesque with its lush landscapes and traditional farming, was not known for archaeological treasures.
It's really important to understand that archaeology is often driven by accidental finds.
However, the persistent issue of a village pond that wouldn't dry up, despite extensive efforts to pump it for irrigation, piqued the curiosity of Wu and his neighbors. Determined to find the reason, they funded the use of rudimentary pumps, and after 17 days and over 20,000 cubic meters of water pumped out, they uncovered what appeared to be a man-made cavern entrance, revealing the first of the Longyu Caves, later dubbed Cave 1.
Someone made it, and it involved a very large amount of organized labor. There had to be the will and the intent in order to do that.
This cave, an architectural wonder with exquisite hand-chiseled carvings, stairways and sturdy columns, was just the beginning. Word of this remarkable find spread rapidly across the region, capturing the imaginations of both the public and the academic world. The discovery was so stirring because of its unexpected nature and the sheer magnitude of the caves. Motivated by the initial find, the local community continued to fund the exploration, and by the end of 1992, 4 more caves had been identified.
There's a bunch of these things. There's a bunch of things like that. They're just like,
Each cave was unique in design and hinted at a sophisticated yet mysterious civilization that had left no other record behind. Recognizing the potential historical and cultural significance of these caves, the Chinese government quickly stepped in. They took measures to protect the site and supported further scientific studies to explore these enigmatic structures more thoroughly. This governmental intervention mirrored the actions taken after other major archaeological discoveries in China, such as the Terracotta Army, uncovered by local farmers in Shaanxi in 1974.
It's a wonderful mystery, and it deserves much further attention.
Both the Longyu Caves and the Terracotta Army were stumbled upon by locals engaged in ordinary tasks, yet these finds were anything but ordinary. The Terracotta Army, part of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum, features thousands of life-sized statues, each detailed with unique facial expressions and attire, clearly a tribute to the emperor's military forces. In contrast, the Long Yu caves, with their vast underground spaces expertly carved from solid rock, offer no such clues about their creators or their purpose, remaining shrouded in mystery.
We are just, I think, looking at the edges of a mystery. The archaeologists involved feel the same.
These discoveries significantly shifted our understanding of their respective eras. The Terracotta Army provided a window into the military aesthetics and rituals of the Qin dynasty, while the Long Yu caves have puzzled historians due to their lack of any historical documentation. Both sites have undergone intense scholarly scrutiny and ongoing research, as experts from around the world try to uncover the secrets they hold and the stories they might tell about the ancient peoples of China. These caves were cleverly concealed by the mountainous landscape and dense vegetation, which likely played a role in keeping them hidden for centuries. The region's rocky terrain further protected these man-made wonders from natural erosive forces, preserving their pristine condition through the ages. Advancements in technology have significantly aided in the exploration and mapping of these caves. Techniques such as laser scanning and ground-penetrating radar have been crucial in providing detailed information about the cave's dimensions and layout. Initially, surveys indicated that the caves covered an area of approximately 30,000 square meters, but ongoing exploration might extend this figure as more sections are discovered. The architectural consistency observed across the Long Yu caves is truly remarkable. Despite varying sizes and designs, each cave exhibits uniform craftsmanship with flat bases for pillars and symmetrical spacing of architectural elements. This uniformity suggests they were likely constructed under the centralized direction of a single authoritative entity, possibly a local ruler or a unified government during that era. The choice of siltstone for construction, a material easier to carve than granite or basalt, allowed for the creation of smooth walls and intricate carvings, showcasing an advanced understanding of material properties and structural engineering. This is evident in the high ceilings supported by massive stone pillars designed to distribute weight evenly throughout the caverns. The caves are not only a feat of engineering but also of artistry. The internal structures include complex water channels that likely serve to prevent flooding and maintain a stable internal environment, alongside ornate gutters and meticulously carved bridges that enhance both the functionality and aesthetics of these spaces. The scale of excavation involved is staggering, with an estimated 1 million cubic meters of rock removed using basic iron or bronze tools. This massive endeavor would have required thousands of laborers over several decades, if not centuries, highlighting the significant human effort and organization required. Detailed examinations of the tool marks and techniques on the cave walls offer archaeologists valuable insights into the technological capabilities of the time. Furthermore, carbon dating of some cave sections indicates their construction dates back to at least the Eastern Zhou dynasty, over 2,000 years ago. This ancient origin adds to the mystery and allure of the caves. The Long Yu caves, with their vast chambers and no historical records to explain their construction, have sparked a plethora of theories about their original purpose. One popular theory is that the caves were used as ancient storage silos. Researchers supporting this idea point to the stable temperature and humidity levels inside the caves, conditions ideal for storing perishables. The interior layout, featuring platforms and ledges, seems perfect for organizing goods, while the intricate water management systems might have been designed to control moisture levels, ensuring that stored items remained preserved. Another theory suggests that these caves served as royal tombs or burial sites for nobility. This wouldn't be out of place in ancient traditions worldwide, where elaborate resting places were often constructed for the elite. The extensive labor and detailed craftsmanship involved in creating the Long Yu caves imply they were built for significant individuals. However, the complete absence of artifacts or human remains commonly found in other tombs casts doubt on this theory. Some believe the caves had a religious or ceremonial purpose, considering how their secluded and quiet interiors would be suitable for spiritual activities. This aligns with the global historical trend of using caves for such purposes. The uniform design and orientation of the caves could suggest they were specifically planned for processions or religious ceremonies, although the lack of religious symbols or artifacts challenges this theory. A more practical perspective is that the caves were quarries. The theory posits that the caves were originally mined for stone, used in early Chinese imperial construction projects. though it doesn't account for why the stone wasn't used in any known structures nearby. Lastly, a more speculative idea is that the caves functioned as ancient astronomical observatories. Some suggest that the orientation of tunnels and openings within the caves aligns with specific celestial events, much like other historic astronomical sites.
But what's fascinating about them is this very powerful geometry and astronomy.
This would imply a sophisticated understanding of the stars by the creators of the Longyu Caves, though hard evidence for this theory is still lacking. When we compare the architectural marvels of the Longyu Caves in China with Petra in Jordan, also known as the Rose City, we dive into a fascinating study of ancient ingenuity and artistic mastery. Petra's structures are famously carved into the blush-colored sandstone cliffs, reflecting the elaborate and ornate aesthetic of the Nabateans around the 5th century BCE. Its most iconic structure, the treasury, is a perfect example of this, with a facade that is both monumental and intricately detailed, highlighting the peak of Nabatean craftsmanship. In contrast, the Longyu Caves are sculpted from siltstone, a material that presents different challenges and opportunities for the carvers. The finer grain of siltstone allowed ancient workers to achieve smooth finishes and sharp details in the cave walls and columns, offering a different kind of beauty from Petra's elaborate sandstone carvings. Unlike Petra's diverse architectural purposes, the Longyu Caves exhibit a uniform design across all the caverns, suggesting they were built with a singular purpose or design philosophy in mind. Both Petra and the Longyu were lost to the world until their relatively recent rediscovery. Petra was brought back into the public consciousness in 1812 by Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, and since then it has reshaped much of our understanding of Middle Eastern history. Despite the grandeur and historical significance of both sites, they share a profound mystery: the absence of detailed historical records explaining their construction. While Petra does have some inscriptions and texts that offer minimal insights, the Longyu Caves are surrounded by complete silence in historical records, with no writings found to date that reference their creation. This lack of documentation has left historians and archaeologists piecing together clues and forming theories that range from practical to speculative in an effort to understand these magnificent constructions.
These caves are incredible. I don't even want to call them caves because it's called the Barabar Caves, but these things are not caves. Does that look like a cave to anyone?
That looks
No.
like the entrance to a spaceship. That's
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's like a single granite
vein.
One huge piece.
Deep in the heart of India, shrouded in the mists of ancient history, lies a marvel of engineering and artistry that continues to baffle and amaze. The Barabar Caves, a series of rock-cut chambers carved into the granite hills of Bihar, India, the oldest rock-carved caves that exists to date. What secrets do they hold? How were they built? And what purpose did they serve? Could humans really have created this ancient wonder? The Barabar Caves, discovered in the early 19th century, are believed to be the oldest surviving examples of rock-cut architecture in India, dating back to the 3rd century BC. They were commissioned by Ashoka the Great, the Mauryan emperor who famously converted to Buddhism after the bloody Kalinga War. These caves were meant to serve as retreats for monks and ascetics seeking spiritual enlightenment. What is immediately striking about the Barabar Caves is the sheer precision and polish of their construction. The walls and ceilings are so smooth, they seem almost mirrored. The interiors are devoid of any ornamentation, emphasizing their austere and contemplative purpose. Even today, after more than 2 millennia, the echo of a whisper reverberates through these chambers, creating an ethereal atmosphere. The most iconic of the Barabar Caves is the Lomas Rishi Cave, distinguished by its unique horseshoe-shaped entrance, reminiscent of the Chaitya halls of later Buddhist architecture. The interior is a single spacious chamber with a vaulted ceiling, culminating in a stupa-like projection at the far end. The acoustics within the Lomas Rishi Cave are extraordinary, creating a sense of otherworldly resonance that amplifies even the slightest sound. But how were these caves built? The technology available at the time was rudimentary, consisting mainly of iron chisels and hammers. Carving into the hard granite would have been an arduous and time-consuming task. Yet, the sheer scale and precision of the Barabar caves suggest a level of mastery that seems almost impossible for the time. Some scholars theorize that the Mauryans might have employed advanced techniques, perhaps even using fire to weaken the rock before chiseling. Others speculate that they might have had access to specialized tools or knowledge that has since been lost. The mystery of their construction only adds to the allure of the Barabar caves. The Barabar caves are not just architectural marvels, they are also repositories of history. Inscriptions found within the caves provide valuable insights into the Mauryan era, including Ashoka's edicts promoting peace and non-violence. These inscriptions show Ashoka's profound transformation from a ruthless conqueror to a benevolent ruler, a transformation that reverberated throughout the Indian subcontinent. But the Barabar caves also raise intriguing questions. Why did Ashoka choose this particular location? Was it for its strategic importance, its natural beauty, or its spiritual significance? The story of the Barabar caves is far from over. These ancient marvels hold more than just questions of technique and purpose. As we dig deeper into the mystery, we find that the caves are connected to a broader network of ancient secrets, some hiding in plain sight, others concealed beneath the surface of history. The Barabar caves, it seems, are just the beginning. Let's turn our attention to the staggering amount of stone that was removed to create these caves. Carving out even one of these chambers would have required moving hundreds of tons of solid granite. While this might seem difficult enough today, with cranes and modern machinery, imagine doing it over 2,000 years ago with only basic tools. Experts estimate that the volume of rock removed from the Barabar and Nagarjuni caves combined is equivalent to the construction of an entire modern skyscraper. The caves aren't just hollow spaces, they are carefully engineered cavities with perfectly smooth walls and astonishing acoustic properties. This raises the question, were these caves intended for something far more complex than simple meditation? If we step outside the narrow confines of traditional archaeology, a number of unconventional theories begin to emerge. One of the most compelling is the possibility that these caves were not simply religious sanctuaries, but sites for ancient experiments with sound and resonance. Sound, after all, was a powerful force in many ancient cultures, believed to be a tool for healing, communication, and even construction. Could the Barabar caves have been designed to amplify certain frequencies, perhaps to aid in meditation or to access hidden states of consciousness? Some researchers propose that the unique sound dynamics within the caves were not accidental, but were the result of advanced knowledge of acoustics, knowledge that may have been lost to time. When comparing Barabar to other ancient acoustic marvels, such as the Hypogeum of Saflieni in Malta, where low-frequency sounds resonate powerfully within the subterranean chambers, the similarities are striking. In both cases, the structures amplify sound in ways that seem unnatural. Could there have been an ancient global understanding of sound technology that allowed different cultures to manipulate their environments for spiritual or scientific purposes? But even more provocative is the idea that the Barabar caves and the surrounding region could have been used for something much more practical. Some conspiracy theorists have speculated that these caves were not spiritual retreats, but part of a network of sites dedicated to early technological experiments, possibly in metallurgy or energy generation. Ancient India was known for its early advances in metallurgy, particularly with the discovery of Wootz steel, a high-carbon alloy that later became famous as Damascus steel. Could it be that the Barabar region, rich in iron ore, served as a hidden laboratory where ancient metallurgists conducted experiments in the production of alloys, harnessing the natural acoustic properties of the caves for unknown purposes? There's also the curious question of why the Ajivikas, a relatively obscure religious group, would commission such monumental works. Ajivikas were known for their strict ascetic practices, rejecting material wealth and worldly possessions. So why would they need such massive, intricately designed caves? Could it be that the caves had a dual purpose, both spiritual and scientific? Some researchers have suggested that the caves may have served as a place where spiritual leaders and early scientists exchanged ideas, blurring the line between religious meditation and scientific experimentation. This theory gains traction when we look at other caves and rock-cut structures in the region, like the Udayagiri and Khandagiri caves in Odisha, carved around the same time as Barabar. While Udayagiri and Kandagiri served more as monastic retreats for Jain monks, the designs are remarkably intricate, featuring tiered halls and passageways that hint at more than just religious devotion. Could these sites have been part of a larger network of spiritual and scientific centers stretching across ancient India? There is a growing belief that these cave complexes were not isolated projects, but rather the work of a sophisticated civilization, with knowledge that extended beyond the spiritual into fields like geometry, engineering, and metallurgy. Looking westward, comparisons with the Ajanta and Ellora caves in Maharashtra become even more intriguing. Unlike Barabar, the Ellora complex contains vast temple structures, including the breathtaking Kailasa temple, which was carved from a single piece of rock. What ties these sites together is the sheer scale of excavation. While Barabar focuses on precision and acoustic properties, Ellora and Ajanta showcase the massive scale and intricacy of rock-cut architecture. The fact that both were created around the same time period raises questions. Were these part of a grander pan-Indian tradition of rock-cut engineering that blended religion with early scientific understanding? Could the same knowledge have flowed between these centers, each site fulfilling different roles in a complex network of spiritual, technological, and social life? There are also strange connections to be made when examining other rock-carved sites across the world. For instance, Petra, the ancient Nabatean city in Jordan, shares some remarkable similarities with Barabar. Both were carved into solid rock, both involved an unimaginable amount of labor, and both exhibit architectural features far ahead of their time. Petra, with its elaborate facades and hidden tombs, and Barabar, with its smooth chambers and enigmatic acoustics, may have been created for vastly different purposes, yet the precision and effort involved suggest that the people who built them shared a deep understanding of stoneworking and engineering. While mainstream historians argue that these similarities are coincidental, the evidence is difficult to ignore. Were these sites merely the result of isolated advances in technology, or were ancient cultures more connected than we realize, sharing techniques and knowledge across vast distances? Then there's the question of why these caves are located where they are. The Barabar caves are situated near Gaya, a place of immense spiritual significance in India. Gaya is not only home to the famous Bodh Gaya, where Buddha is said to have attained enlightenment, but the region itself is dotted with caves, temples, and religious sites. Could there be something about the land itself, something about the energy of the place, that made it a focal point for spiritual leaders and scientists alike?
French underwater explorer has found the most spectacular prehistoric art gallery since the discovery of Lascaux cave paintings. Although the only entrance to the newly discovered cave is 120 feet underwater, the cavern containing the 14,000-year-old art treasure is just above sea level.
A submarine has discovered an ancient cave revealing a lost civilization. This incredible underwater find, Cosca Cave near Marseille, France, unveils secrets from the Upper Paleolithic era, providing an extraordinary glimpse into prehistoric life. Nestled within the submerged limestone cliffs of the Calanques, the cave's intricate artwork is fascinating. Similarly, the Scotian caves in Slovenia offer dramatic karst landscapes and rich archaeological heritage, highlighting humanity's deep connection with the Earth. Both sites, with their unique geological features and historical treasures, beckon us to explore the depths of our ancient past. Cosca Cave was discovered by Henri Cosca, a professional diver from Marseille, with its entrance situated 37 meters beneath the sea near Cape Morgeau. Motivated by a love for diving and a sense of adventure rather than archaeological pursuits, Cosca first ventured into this submerged cave entrance in 1985. The cave entrance became submerged due to rising sea levels following the last ice age, which helped preserve its contents for millennia. During his early dives, Cosca was not aiming for an archaeological find. Only after multiple explorations, when he ventured further into the cave's network of tunnels and chambers, did he notice walls adorned with what appeared to be ancient art. The importance of these discoveries wasn't immediately clear to him. It was only in 1991, several years after his initial find, that the true archaeological significance of the cave was acknowledged. Cosca contacted Jean Clot, a distinguished prehistorian who performed the first scientific study of the site. Clot verified that the paintings and engravings were from the Upper Paleolithic period, marking a significant milestone in the cave's research and conservation. Access to the cave remains challenging, as its entrance is a long, narrow underwater tunnel that only skilled divers can navigate. This natural barrier has protected the cave from casual visitors and environmental damage, preserving its ancient artworks from human interference and natural wear. The intriguing discovery, unique preservation conditions, and significant historical artifacts make Koska Cave a unique and invaluable site for understanding our distant past. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Koska Cave, we uncover not only its historical significance, but also the fascinating geological processes that shaped it. Nestled within the limestone cliffs of the Calanques near Marseille, France, Koska Cave is a product of millions of years of erosion, sedimentation, and tectonic activity. These natural forces have carved out an intricate network of chambers and narrow passages, stretching several hundred meters into the cliffs. The main entrance, now submerged under the sea, forms a 175-meter-long underwater tunnel, serving as a natural barrier that has preserved the cave's integrity and maintained its internal climate. This has been crucial in protecting the delicate prehistoric artworks within from external influences. Within these ancient walls, over 500 graphic elements vividly narrate life during the Paleolithic era. The cave's art is divided into two distinct periods. The earlier works, dating from 27,000 to 19,000 years ago, predominantly feature hand stencils and geometric shapes, reflecting early humans' exploration of personal identity and abstract thought. Later artworks show a marked progression to detailed depictions of both local and marine fauna, suggesting a deepening of cognitive abilities and cultural sophistication among the cave's occupants. Among the cave's unique artistic highlights is the depiction of marine species such as seals and jellyfish, exceptionally rare in Paleolithic rock art, which predominantly features terrestrial animals. This inclusion suggests that the inhabitants of the Koska region might have had a unique maritime culture, relying on the sea not just for sustenance, but also integrating it deeply into their spiritual and artistic lives. This stands in stark contrast to contemporaneous inland sites like Lascaux Cave, where the art focuses almost exclusively on land animals, indicating a lifestyle deeply connected to the forests and plains. In drawing comparisons, Koska Cave bears similarities to the Indonesian Liang Tedonge Cave, home to the world's oldest known cave painting of a warty pig. Both sites provide crucial insights into their respective cultures' interactions with their environments. However, while Liang Tedonging emphasizes early human interaction with terrestrial fauna, Koska Cave uniquely showcases the integration of marine life into human artistic expression, offering a rare glimpse into Paleolithic maritime life. One fascinating theory posits that the dual themes of terrestrial and marine animals in Koska's art might reflect a mythological or totemic system, where these animals were revered and possibly considered spiritually significant. This is supported by the respectful depiction of these animals, suggesting they held more than mere nutritional value. It is possible that Koska Cave served as a sacred site where rituals or teachings about these spirit animals were conducted, making it both a sanctuary and a repository of communal knowledge. This intertwining of art, culture, and spirituality highlights the complex relationship between the cave's ancient inhabitants and their environment, continuing to fascinate and enlighten us about the depth of human history. As we shift our focus from the maritime splendor of Koska Cave to the dramatic landscapes of Eastern Europe, we discover another fascinating subterranean world, the Scocian Caves in Slovenia. Nestled in the karst region, these caves are not just geological wonders, but also a testament to the region's rich archaeological heritage. In 1986, the Scocian Caves were designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, celebrated for both their natural and cultural significance. The allure of the Scocian Caves has captivated humans for centuries, possibly even millennia. The dramatic disappearance of the Reka River into the depths of the earth has fueled local Slovene folklore with tales of chasms and underworld passages, indicating a deep-rooted connection with these caves. One of the earliest comprehensive descriptions was provided by Johan Vijkaard von Valvassor in 1689. In his work, The Glory of the Duchy of Carniola, he praised the cave's grandeur, sparking interest across Europe. However, it wasn't until the 1880s that scientific exploration truly began. These explorations, which continued into the early 20th century, mapped the extensive network of passages and chambers and led to the construction of paths and bridges, making the caves more accessible for both scientific study and tourism. Scotian caves are a prime example of karst topography, formed by the persistent action of the Reka River. Flowing over 50 kilometers on the surface and another 34 kilometers underground, the river dissolves limestone, creating a complex network of caves, tunnels, and chambers. This process has led to the formation of some of the cave system's most notable features, such as the Martel Chamber and the Silent Cave. Named after French speleologist Edouard Alfred Martel, the Martel Chamber is one of the largest underground chambers in the world, boasting a self-regulating microclimate. The Silent Cave, or Tiha Jama, plunges nearly 150 meters deep, showcasing the incredible power of subterranean rivers and erosion. The sheer depth and isolation create an eerie silence in the cave, occasionally interrupted by dripping water or the muffled rush of the river below. Drawing an interesting parallel, the Scotian caves can be compared to the Mammoth Cave system in Kentucky, USA. Both UNESCO World Heritage Sites represent extensive karst landscapes, but while Scotian impresses with its deep underground canyons and river erosion features, Mammoth Cave boasts the title of the world's longest cave system, with more than 400 miles of surveyed passageways. This comparison highlights the diverse ways in which water shapes limestone to create breathtaking subterranean worlds. An important aspect of the Scotian caves is the unique biodiversity they support, thanks to the stable conditions of constant temperature and humidity. This environment is home to unique species, including the cave salamander, affectionately known as the human fish due to its skin color. This biodiversity is crucial for understanding karst environments and the evolutionary adaptations of life forms thriving in perpetual darkness, further cementing the Scotian caves as not only a natural wonder, but also a significant ecological and cultural treasure.